Hi, this is Nomi Konst. We are live here in Washington, D.C., covering a Reclaim Our Schools event sponsored by the American Federation of Teachers, and we have the president of AFT here, Rani Weingarten. Thanks for joining us.
To be with you today on a day that's actually, on a January day that's actually warm. In D.C.
Surprising. Anticipating the weather tomorrow, which will be rainy, a rainy day on inauguration. You're having this event to push back against the nomination of Betsy DeVos, who had her hearing this week.
Right.
As the president of AFT, what does her appointment mean to the future of public schools in America?
It's terrible. I mean, it doesn't, but what is worse than to the future of public schools in America, what does it mean to children in America? What does it mean, how dare you tell children in America that the most important job in education in America, you don't have to have any experience, you don't have to have any qualifications, and you have to actually hate the very thing that you're supposed to be strengthening and improving. What kind of signal is that? That's not about change, that is about destruction. We did change last year. We all of us, people, Democrats, Republicans, rural, suburban, urban, parents, administrators, communities, clergy, civil rights, teachers, we all fought really hard to get a change in federal education law so we could bring the policy closer to students again, so that we could see and try to create conditions that students would have joy, that we would be doing project-based instruction instead of testing. We would actually be meeting the kids' needs instead of an accountability system coming from Washington. We all did that last year. That was a seismic change that we had. And now, after education was not an issue in this election, then all of a sudden, the guy who said, "I love the poorly educated," picks the most inexperienced, not qualified, anti-public ed ideologue whose only qualification seems to be that she is a billionaire who's given a lot of money to the Republican Party.
All right, guys, we're waiting for President Weingarten is about to go out and give a speech to teachers, to community activists, to Democrats, to progressives, to publics, to parents, to children in the audience, talking about the future of public schools in America, the crisis in schooling when Betsy DeVos is most likely confirmed to be the education secretary. As President Weingarten just said, this is a woman who has no experience in education. She doesn't have a master's degree. She's not a teacher. She is literally a very large donor to Donald Trump's campaign and the Republicans. And her duty, as she's said over the years, is to find a way to make money off of the school systems, to privatize school, so that they can starve resources from great schools like this, which are already starved of resources and doing great, because the work is happening with the teachers. So we're gonna go and cover this right now, and then a little bit later we'll have Congressman Keith Ellison, who's gonna show up and give a speech as well.
We stand together to make sure that our schools are inclusive places and not exclusive places. And that's the problem with Betsy. Betsy don't know a doggone thing about public education. Only thing that she knows about is greed. Only thing that she knows about is privatizing everything that is public. Because what you're standing out here today for is love over hate. And you're standing up to resist xenophobia, to resist sexism, to resist racism, to resist an exclusive culture and society, to resist the greedy over the needy, to resist and basically bring together justice, because it is up to us to fight for justice from here on in. I'm going forward. I'm going forward. Standing up for justice, standing up for real public schools and real public education.
You know the parents who worked from Kansas City in the morning till Kansas City at night, scrub toilets, do whatever they had to do just so that this generation, you all here today, could have a shot, could have a chance. I'm talking about people working hard just so their children might be able to get a good education. Because they told you that if you got a good education, then nobody can take anything from you, didn't they? And guess what? They was right. They were right. If you get something in your head, my grandfather used to say, get some fat on your head, boy. You know what he meant by that? Get an education. And so today, when certain leaders like Betsy DeVos want to say, oh, you know, just because we want to help the poor little children, let's take all the public school money and give it to private schools. Let's take all the public school money and voucherize it, charterize it, and all this kind of thing.
We needed to stand up for our children. Because the rhetoric, as Liz was saying, the rhetoric of this campaign was toxic. The rhetoric was divisive instead of inclusive. The rhetoric was to suppress people in order to lift others up. That is not our America. That is not the America we want. But we said a few weeks ago that we, the community of education, our parents, our clergy, our educators, that we were going to stand up strong throughout America to protect the most vulnerable. So if one of our Muslim students or their families were confronted with a registry, this Jew was going to put herself on that same registry.
We're here at an elementary school in Southeast Washington, D.C., where there was just a rally called #ReclaimOurSchools. Congressman Ellison's here. He gave a rousing speech. Question for you, Congressman Ellison. You're running to be DNC chair. What are the Democrats going to do right now to fight back against the nomination of Betsy DeVos?
Well, first of all, we're going to stand in solidarity with these teachers, students, the workers at the school. We're going to be on site so they see us, they feel us, and they hear us, and we're with them. And then we're going to get our leaders in Congress to ask the tough questions of people like Betsy DeVos, which she must answer. And then if the answers are wrong, and they likely will be, we will let the world know that she's not in favor of public education. She wants to privatize it and monetize it so people can get richer off of it and not educate our kids. So, but we're here to really just be in the streets, be with the people, and let the world know that backing down is not an option, and that we're going to reclaim our schools, we're going to reclaim our society.
All right, thank you, Congressman. We know you have a busy day, so I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Anytime.
We'll see you on the road.